find it to be difficult going from
Well,
meat to no meat?
no, because in college, my ex-husband and I, during that when we were in college, in our earlier 20s and early late teens, we tried it for a year, but we didn't know what we were doing.
Y'all
So,
coming there with lettuce
yeah, it was beans and rice, it was tofu, it was lettuce. We didn't know what we were doing, and so we went back to eating meat. So when I met the Hebrews and I saw that what they did,
it could be done.
it could be done. I just didn't know how to do it, so I learned how to do it.
What's happening, everybody? I am here in Nairobi, Kenya, and I am a soul vegetarian here with Daniella Nairobi, and we're going to talk about her vision for why she brought this wonderful business to Kenya, and just your vision and everything that's going on. So, Daniella, how are you today?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent.
Excellent. Well, I
How
want
are
to
you?
thank you. I'm doing well,
Okay.
and I want to thank you for sharing your vision and your business. And when you're in Nairobi, make sure you stop by because the food is phenomenal. I mean, you all saw the plate. I put it on my page.
And it's 100% vegan.
100% vegan,
Yes.
and the scrambled eggs, that was actually tofu.
Scrambled tofu,
Scrambled
yes.
tofu. You had your vegan sausage. You had the greens.
The
You had
spinach. That
the
was
spinach.
actually Kenyan type of spinach, yes.
Okay,
And pancakes.
and the potatoes.
And the potatoes, the hash browns. That's right.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
and I cleaned the plate.
Yes, and you said you didn't like it, which means you loved it, but we
I
roll
always
with
have
that.
this joke. I always have this joke if I have an empty plate, and I'll
Yeah.
say, "This is the worst meal I've ever had."
Right, right.
And people look at it, they say, "The worst meal you've ever." What are you talking about? All right, so tell me why Kenya?
Why Kenya? First of all, hello everyone. Kenya, I came to Kenya. Originally, I was looking for somewhere else to just kind of be for a little bit. That's the best way I could put that. I'm originally Jamaican. I grew up in the country, the mountains in Jamaica.
Okay.
And I was used to, my grandfather had a farm, fruit trees everywhere. I could stay up atop where we were and see Montego Bay. I wanted a vibe like that. I wanted that kind of atmosphere. And when I came to Kenya and I traveled throughout Nairobi and Naivasha and Nakuru, it just it came. It's like it was inside of me, and it just reminded me so much of Jamaica, the land, the water, the people, and to just be able to see just black faces, just to be able to see that, and waking up in the morning not having to deal with the insecurities of someone else or deal with the fact that you're not liked and you have to fear for your life because of the color of your skin. Not because of the content of my character or not because I've done some wrong things, but because of how I was born.
Now,
Something
is that from Jamaica or is that from?
That's from the United States.
Okay, so
That's-
you spent some time in the U.S.
I grew up in the States.
Got it.
I went to the United States when I was 8,
Okay.
and I am a lot past that now.
Me too.
I spent most of my years in the States.
Whereabouts in the States?
Florida.
Okay, Florida.
I grew up in Florida, Miami, Florida. From Miami, Florida, my ex-husband and I went to school in Louisiana,
Okay.
Grambling State.
Grambling.
Yes, from Grambling State, we went to Tallahassee. So the rest of most of my time was in Tallahassee once I passed 18.
Okay.
So I was in Tallahassee over 20-something years. My daughter was raised in Tallahassee. She's now a mother herself,
Okay.
and a wife. And she was raised vegan also.
So you've been vegan your whole life?
Not by half my life.
Okay.
I've been vegan since I was about 24,
Okay.
and now I'm in my 50s.
you telling everything. I'm going with the
So
flow.
about half my life I've been a vegan.
Okay.
And my daughter, she's 34, and she's been a vegan since she was 5.
Okay,
I think.
so this is her lifestyle, her
Yes,
culture.
and so now my grandchildren are vegans.
Okay.
And yeah.
Why did you decide to open a business in Nairobi, Kenya? Why not just I know you talked about not wanting to deal with the racism and the challenges that come with that, but why not just come here and just
Well,
live?
I was doing Soul Vegetarian, the vegan restaurant in the United States in Tallahassee, Florida, and I was doing that for over 20 years.
Oh, okay. So this, okay, got it.
Yeah. So before that, I was actually doing Jamaican food, curry chicken, and
Rice
that's
and
before.
peas
Yes, that's before I became a vegan.
and the patties.
Yes, I
Okay.
was doing jerk chicken, and I was doing
Curry
bean
goat.
pies. I was doing curry goat. I did it all, Jamaican wise. Stewed peas and rice, stew beef. I did it all. You
Mm.
know. And then once I changed my diet, I switched over to whatever I made in meat wise. I did it vegan. So I
So you can
veganized.
still cook that same type of food,
Yeah, but I don't.
but with no meat. Oh, you
Yeah,
don't.
I do. Well, I do it without meat,
Right,
but
right.
I don't touch meat. I haven't touched meat
Can you
in
do rice and
27
peas
years.
still? You can get
Absolutely,
down.
we do that every Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Friday's Island Day. And we do Jamaican patties, so you can come and get patties here. You can buy a patty right now.
I can. I will before I leave.
Right. So, so I pretty much veganized the diet I grew up with as a Jamaican and
Okay.
the diet I learned in the American diet. Soul vegetarian, when we say soul vegetarian, what we did was we took the food that we knew as black people as soul food
Uh huh.
and we veganized it. So we did macaroni and cheese, barbecue, greens, cornbread. We did it all. Fried, fried this and that.
Y'all got
Baked.
that here too? Some of that? Some of it.
Tuesdays is our American day. Because what I did was each day I did an international cuisine. So people, because going back to the question, I wanted to introduce veganism to Kenya in a way that I knew it and I loved it, and I just wanted to share that.
What's the difference between veganism and being a vegetarian? I think a lot of
Um,
people don't know the difference.
Veganism tend to stick to no animal whatsoever.
No animal, no milk,
No cheese. Whereas vegetarians, some still do cheese, some do milk, some even do fish.
Okay.
And if you really step on out, there's some may do chicken. It's according to who you're talking
Really?
to. Yes.
Vegetarian? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't figured out the vegetable part of the chicken or the
I'm
fish
still
yet,
trying
but
to figure that out too.
to each its own.
Yeah.
I'm not here to
Tell
dictate
somebody.
to you.
You're creating an option for those who might be
Right.
interested
Right.
in
Right.
exploring. And let me ask you this: why did you decide to do this? Because was it
In-
like
in
a,
general or
a
in
wake up
Kenya?
call? Well, in general. Why did you say,
Well-
okay, Jamaica, I'm going from some jerk chicken, and now I'm going to
And
go.
I used to love me some jerk chicken now. My mama taught me how to make jerk chicken from scratch.
See, now I
so-
don't want you to stumble back into it now. I need you to.
Oh, never. Because when she taught me how to make the season and everything from scratch when I used to do chicken, I took that understanding and that knowledge that she gave me and I veganized it.
So why did you decide to go vegan? Why did you stop with meat?
Well, when I was in my 20s, I had gained a whole lot of weight. I used to get really bad migraine headaches. I could never understand what was going on. And when my ex-husband was in school, he was going to FAMU.
That's Tallahassee.
Yeah, FAMU.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was going to FAMU. And someone came, introduced a trip to Egypt to him and to this
It's really getting interesting
class.
now.
Oh yeah, to
Okay.
a class of architects back then at FAMU. He couldn't go, and he said, "Why don't you go?" He said, "My wife could go." Back then we were both in our early 20s, our mid 20s. Since he couldn't go, I went. And the people that were sponsoring the trip were the African Hebrew Israelites, is located in Dimona, Israel.
Okay.
And they were the ones sponsoring the trip to Egypt.
Understood.
And I had never heard of these people, so it never occurred to me that this was anything other than I'm taking a trip to
You're
Egypt.
going to Egypt, right?
So when we got to Israel, first we went to Israel and met the African Hebrew Israelites. And to my surprise, it was a bunch of black people that were vegan. They fed us that night,
Okay.
because I was still eating meat then.
It must have been good.
They gave me some battered cauliflower, some macaroni and cheese, some greens, and a salad. Now, the battered cauliflower, after I ate it, they told me it was cauliflower. I'm like, nah, you're lying. That's some chicken.
Really?
Yes, that thing tastes just like chicken. And the macaroni and cheese that they made their own macaroni. They made their own cheese. And you could never tell. You couldn't tell that it was a difference in flavor as to what I knew at that time, which was cheese.
Right, cheese.
Which was mainly I used to love Kraft's macaroni and cheese in the box.
In the box, no,
So
in the
it was
box.
like that, the one in the box. It was like that and fried chicken. I used to love that. And once I tasted their food, I stayed with them for the whole week. We took a trip to Egypt. They fed us on the way there. I stayed with them another week. So that was like 2 weeks, and I ate their food. And everything was vegan. Everybody was vegan. The children was vegan. The elders were vegan. The teenagers, everybody was vegan. And the whole community ate vegan.
Wow.
And I was like, I can do this. And from that, I proceeded to learn how to cook the way they cooked.
And that's where
And,
that's when you had
and
that.
this is what you have at Soul Vegetarian.
Wow.
So from that trip in 1993, this took place in 1993. I was 23 then.
Mhm.
From then to 2021 today, this is what you see from that trip.
So that trip was basically
It
the
was
catalyst.
pivotal.
It was
Yes.
almost that in that moment. That's when you
Yes.
said,
Yes.
"Now it's time to make a change."
Yes.
Did you find it to be difficult going from
Well,
meat to no meat?
no, because in college, my ex-husband and I, during that in college, when we were in college, in our earlier 20s and late teens, we tried it for a year, but we didn't know what we were doing. So,
Y'all coming there with lettuce and
yeah, it was beans and rice, it was tofu, it was lettuce. You know, we didn't know what we were doing, and so we went back to eating meat. So when I met the Hebrews and I saw that what they did,
it could be done.
it could be done. I just didn't know how to do it, so I learned how to do it, and I never went back. Whatever meat I had in my fridge at that time, I told my ex-husband at the time, we're gonna cook all of this and eat it.
Is it- is
And
it-
after that,
this
this
is
was
it?
it.
This is
And
it.
that was the end of that. That was the last time I ate meat.
What has been the greatest joy for you in all of these years, as far as with the restaurant? Because I know you've worked with different
Wow.
capacities. What, or some of the greatest joys? that
I would
you-
have to say when people come back to me, either they've been sick and had to change their diet, and they come back and say because of the food we gave them, how their transition was made easier and happier. Or when people come and just enjoy the food so much because
and clean the plates.
and clean their plates and you say how they didn't like it. But to me, that's joy because what we serve is more than food. You know, it's a lot of we put ourselves in the food that we serve because we really want people to know that this could be good. Just because you eat healthy does not mean that it does not have to be tasty.
Right.
So it could be healthy and tasty. And we do our best, even though here we do fries or chips, and I do some battered things. But most of the items that we serve are very healthy items. And even though it's fast food, it's still very healthy, you know.
I tasted
So we want people to know that. Just people's reaction. That brings me joy.
it. How did the headaches? You said you had migraines and you were dealing with some health challenges. How did going vegan help?
Well, what I did was I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating white flour, white sugar, because in the States they do white flour, white sugar, white
Everything.
salt. Whereas here they just have brown sugar.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you go into the store, you're not going to find any white sugar. You know, but back then, once I changed my diet, and I learned that water is a major part of what you need for your body.
Oh,
See,
break
back
that
then
down for
I didn't
us.
really know that.
Well, break that down for us.
Well,
'Cause water being
Water is what, like 70% of the makeup of the body, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So if you're not drinking water, what happens is your body dehydrates.
okay.
And so it's dehydrating from liquids, it's dehydrating from minerals. Your system starts to shut down because
Okay.
it's not getting the moisture that it needs. Back then, I wasn't drinking water. Even though I wasn't a big soda person,
Right. You just weren't drinking
I
water.
wasn't drinking enough water, you know. So from meeting the community, water is like a major conversation in our culture.
So
you know,
just drinking
just drinking water.
water.
And what
Any
happens?
particular kind of water or just water in general?
It depends on how drastic your body has dehydrated. If you're drinking water on a regular basis, you'll be all right. If it gets to the point where you have migraine headaches, that means it's drastic. So now you have to put water with minerals
So you were
into your body.
dehydrated.
I was pretty much dehydrated. Because even now, if I get a headache, it's because I'm dehydrated.
Oh.
If it's not that, I've stressed myself out so much that I need to take a nap
So
and
either-
drink some water.
So rest and water.
Yeah, you know. But mainly by the time you're getting those headaches, that's your body telling you it's lost minerals, and you have to put salt, iodine back in. You have to put glucose, a sweetener. You have to put vitamin C, which is either orange juice, pineapple juice, lemon juice. They used to call Gatorade. Remember?
Gatorade. Yeah.
Was it Gatorade?
Yeah,
Was that the name of it?
Well,
They
that has a salt. That has a sodium in it.
Yeah, so that's what they used to
Electrolytes.
give. Yeah, so that's what they used to give us, which was not the best thing.
Okay.
When really all you could just, if you go to the store and buy orange juice, put a little salt in it, that goes right to your blood system. It rehydrates you almost immediately. But still, you need to keep drinking water. You just need to, add more to it.
And so that's what you did, and that helped the
I started
water.
drinking water. Yeah, and then I got off of things that dehydrated my body even more, which was the white flour, the white sugar, meats, all those things. it takes so much out of your system, you know, and then you have to learn your system. What doesn't work for you and what works for you, and you have to learn your system. And the one thing I have to say, with this kind of diet, you get to learn your system because your body will talk to you.
It'll
Because
talk to you.
you know you start to do something you shouldn't, bam,
It'll
it
let you
tells
know.
you.
It'll
Yeah,
let you know real fast.
because you will get sick.
It'll let you know
And
real fast.
if it's something that peps you up, immediately it peps you up. You know, so that's kind of how.
But a lot of us, because of our cultures, and I would say probably in the States and here in on different parts of Africa, depending on the fast pace, we may be more focused on working than listening to our body. You know, sometimes we'll work to the point where our body, we're
Shuts
forced
down.
to listen to
Shuts
the body.
down.
The body's like, okay, today you're not going, you need some rest.
Right. It shuts you down. It
It
stops
has
you.
all kinds of ways of doing it.
Yeah. And
So,
then something else, if I may add
sure,
about
no.
the dehydration. Um, Fruits, um, lettuce, salads, greens, water-based foods. That also helps because it's not only just water. It's anything that has liquid.
So the liquid
You know,
is
but
that'll keep you hydrated.
That keeps you hydrated. So fruits is a good way of getting the liquid that you need. Salads,
Okay.
juicing is a good thing now. People are more into juicing. That's also liquid.
Right.
That's liquid with minerals and vitamins
Nutrients,
and things.
yes.
Yeah. So you know those kind of things is good for rehydration in your body.
Hearing what you're saying, and clearly by you setting up a business here in Nairobi, you're doing something as a pioneer in this area. Would you say that there are a lot of vegan options here in Nairobi?
I wouldn't say there's a lot. There are vegan options. One thing I have to say about Nairobi, it's a strong vegetarian community. So you will get, within that vegetarian community, you will find vegan options. So you will get that. But to go somewhere where everything is vegan, they don't have that here.
Okay.
You know. And one of the things that when I first came here, because when I first came in 2015, what you see today, it wasn't as prevalent when it comes to veganism as you see now. It's been an uptake, a very strong uptake since 2015.
Why do you think that is?
Well, one, COVID was a big
Wake-up
booster.
call?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a big booster for that because, you know, health, people started thinking about their health. That's one. And two, people were now home and they were able to think now and they were able to feel some things and understand some things. And what I saw was more people exercising and because they had time.
Right, right.
You know, once it was being explained that you have to watch your diet and watch what you're eating and what will cause mucus and things like that, people were more aware. So I saw uptake of that.
I would imagine that in the next 3 years, you probably see it even more.
Yeah, because it's moving fast.
Yeah.
It's growing fast.
Now, do you think, is that the Nairobi population, or would you say that it's because more people from Western culture are coming here, or a combination of the two?
It's a combination because my customer base is a mixture. I have a strong Nairobi population. I have a strong expat or a strong tourist population, but I get more from the local people than I do from tourists and from other people coming in. So it's a mixture. I'd have to say Nairobi community is really growing into understanding their health more.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing I've noticed everywhere in the world, the health crisis is just growing.
So everywhere,
Yeah.
and it goes back to diet.
It goes back to what you consume.
And that's with more platforms, social media, the media, even
Yeah.
now people are waking up to say that, hey, you know, there's some things that I need, that I'm responsible for with my own health. And there's some things that I can do. I can make better dietary choice on a
You have
daily
that choice.
basis. Well, I'm excited for you because what I want people to do, when you come to Nairobi, Kenya, I want you to make Soul Vegetarian a destination spot, a must-eat destination spot. When you come here, you will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, I cleaned the plate. The food wasn't good. We probably wouldn't be sitting down having this conversation because it was that good. And I was like, do you do interviews? And you're like, well, I'll do it. You know, but I want people to know what you're doing, because what we do is bridge the gap between Africa and the African diaspora. And that's from America, the Caribbean, the UK, Canada, South America, you know, all these different places. And you know the narratives we've been told in the Western world about Africa.
Right, right. Because I have people ask, do they have internet? It's like, yes, they do. Really, you know, the questions I get asked sometimes, it's like, yeah, it's really unfortunate.
It is.
It's unfortunate, but
But you're breaking up that ground, though.
That's
the thing.
good.
Yeah, you're breaking it. I mean, really, because
That's great.
you're able to explain it to people in a way, coming from Jamaica, having lived in the U.S., but now establishing your roots here in Kenya now opens up. Sometimes people just have to see other people doing it who look like them, sound like them, and understand their culture. And then they say, you know what, let me go for a visit. And what I can tell you about Nairobi, which is so contagious, you don't really have the cultural challenge that you might have in other places. You can come here and still have the authentic African experience. But if you're coming from the West, you still, it's not like you're trying, because plenty of internet. Actually, Kenya has the best internet that I've experienced outside of South Africa on the continent. I haven't had any cultural challenges, but I feel like I'm still in Africa and the people and being here. So I think that what you're doing is so important. And you're on the leading edge, and I'm hoping to see more locations, more soul vegetarian.
We will.
Yeah.
We will eventually. One thing I wanted to add, what we do is more than a business. We're here and we connect with Kenyans. I work with Kenyans. I'm in business with Kenyans. Our nonprofit organization is about creating health, because you know our organic company, we help people to build organic farms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
we share the bill. Yeah,
That's a whole nother.
yeah. So this front part is we help people. ABI Organics, we help people farm organically.
Okay.
And we'll do the setup with the kid. See, it's not what I do, so I have to explain it to you.
Yeah, but no.
I'm trying to help
let us
out
know.
here.
Let us know what's
But
going
we'll help
on.
you. We'll put the tent up. We will get the pipes for you. We'll teach you how to farm organically. We'll check up on you. So we work in tandem with that, and working with Kenyans because it's not just me doing this. I have a whole team back
You
here
have
that
to,
work with
everything that you're doing, yeah.
Because my partner, she's Kenyan and she's vegan also.
Okay.
Because we wanted to share this health. You know, we wanted to share this to Kenyans.
Yeah.
So it's more than just a business. It's a business, but it's more than that.
It's
and
a
I wanted
business,
to make
it's a
sure,
lifestyle.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody knows that.
No, and if someone is interested in learning about your organics, is there a website that they can go to?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, my brother over there, he's the owner. He's the one that runs it, and he could tell you everything.
All right, and we'll make sure that we'll put it in the description, so that way everybody can see how to find out. Because I think
ABI Organics, yes.
ABI Organics is the name of it. Wow. Well, Daniella, I thank you for spending a few moments with me today.
And thank you.
And I appreciate you sharing your business and your vision with everyone. Now, when people come to Nairobi, because a lot of people ask, a lot of people on my tours, they ask, well, are there any vegan or vegetarian options? So just know that when we bring a tour to Nairobi,
we are here.
This is for us. This is a destination spot for, even if people are not vegan or vegetarian, say, hey, just try it. Just try it. Taste it. Trust me, you'll be okay.
Because have you seen the menu of everything that we offer? Have you seen that?
I did the other day, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So we offer a variety of, we have a pretty good selection of items. So, people could come and get any kind of sandwich. You get the batter basket if that's what you want. You want to fry, you could get that.
Okay.
It's here for you.
I saw the desserts in there.
Yeah.
I saw.
Because you get donuts, cinnamon rolls, cookies, cakes. We do it all.
The whole nine.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm talking to Daniella Nairobi of Soul Vegetarian here in Nairobi, Kenya. When you visit Nairobi, make sure that you stop by, and we'll put all of the information in the description below so that you can follow her and see everything that's going on. And as we continue to bridge the gap, that's what this is all about. Being able to do this in a way where our stories are being told by us. And if we don't do it, who else will do it? And that's why we're here. So again, I thank you for joining me today. I thank you for joining me today. And make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron. Until next time, take care.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister. And you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana. And then we're going to go on a safari. And from there, we're going to go to Ethiopia. And then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They're learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.